This past Sunday, President Joe Biden was invited by Senator Raphael Warnock to speak at his church, Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, to commemorate the 94th birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. It should also be said that Biden is the first sitting president to deliver a sermon from the pulpit of Ebenezer Baptist Church. Now, one of the things he said was this: I've spoken before Parliament, kings, queens, leaders of the world. I've been doing this for a long time, but this is intimidating. And so why? Is it intimidating because you about to get up in there and dupe Negroes again with some nonsense? I don't know. Why are you intimidated by us, right? Okay. And so then he went on to say this: Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a nonviolent warrior for justice who followed the word and the way of his Lord and Savior. On this day of remembrance, we gather at Dr. King's cherished Ebenezer. And so y'all notice how they, being white people, like to always bring up that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was nonviolent. So it's like, what are you saying? Why are you bringing that up? Out of all the things that Dr. King said, why keep ramming the fact that he was nonviolent? Okay. Moving right along, he continued on with this. This is a time of choosing of the direct choices we have. Are we a people who choose democracy over autocracy? And it's like, well, y'all keep saying that democracy is in danger and that we actually have a choice, because that's what democracy means, that you have a choice with your voice. Well, we know that it actually is ran like autocracy, which means that usually one person or one type of government speaks for everybody, right? And so that's kind of how Washington operates. So I'm really confused with that. But we know where he was going with that. He's basically saying, stop choosing the Republicans and keep choosing the Democrats who give you nothing, right? But my thing is this, Biden, while you were in that precious pulpit, why didn't you bring up this that Dr. King said?
The problem. At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Yes, that was the late, great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. saying, we are going to Washington to get our check. Biden, why don't you ever speak about reparations? Black people in America have been very loud about, we want our check, but yet you get into that pulpit being the first sitting president to do that, to deliver a sermon, but you don't talk about anything that we want you to talk about. Like, you have the power to go to Washington and make reparations happen, but you don't talk about that. In fact, Dr. King, that was like one of the last things he said publicly before he was assassinated. So why leave that off? Well, I know why he left it off, because those Negroes there in that congregation, they don't care if Biden delivers them nonsense or fluff. They're happy that he was up there. They're happy to say, oh, Biden came to church today and he spoke on Martin Luther King's birthday and all that other foolishness. But no, from now on, when you white folks from Washington talk about Dr. King, how about y'all talk about when he said, we coming to get our check? Talk about that. So anyway, y'all, for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.